I'm Cameron.
I'm Dan.
I'm Zack.
I'm Ryan. And welcome back to the Daily Life of College Boys.
The podcast where we tell you interesting stories about our not so interesting lives as we are on a pursuit to make our lives as interesting as possible.
Oh yeah. So
It's nice how we time that so we all take a drink at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's true. I hurt my finger on the can.
I saw it
I
explode.
saw it explode.
That was blood.
No, that was.
I'm joking. That was
God,
pure-
you okay?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh damn.
I'm going to hide the fact that my hair is a little weird behind the microphone.
I just got a haircut. Dude,
Yeah,
your
you
hair
did.
looks fine.
No, there's like a weird thing on the side.
Yeah.
look, we don't care about you. We care about the can.
I know. I get it. Have
So
I
if
been
just keep
introduced
it
yet?
right here.
No.
Oh yeah, this is my friend CJ. You can call him Cameron if you
Right.
want.
Guest. First ever official guest.
That's right.
Throwback to the olden
Check out
days.
my SoundCloud.
Alright, so CJ, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'll introduce myself. My name is Cameron. I've done a lot of things on the internet, none of them popular.
By the way, can I talk to the mic?
I'm talking.
while
I'm
looking at
talking to the
camera?
mic.
There you go.
I used to run a podcast with Danny here called the Anti-Minecraft Educational Podcast. I'm also starting up a podcast called The Most Interesting Person I've Ever Met, or People I've Ever Met, actually. It's just a interview podcast where I interview a bunch of interesting people. He's one of them. So
That's like our show, because our podcast is all about...
Yeah, but ours is the daily occurrences of those people.
yeah,
Yes.
mine is like every episode is a new person. So for example, I'm getting the wrestler Chris Jericho. I'm getting one of my old high school teachers. I'm getting a bunch of people, and that's what I'm doing, and that's me. And I am friends with Danny, and I met them now,
Yeah.
and I'm here.
Hi.
So while we tell stories about our lives, because we think we do interesting stuff, you find other people that are interesting and interview them. Let them tell their story. That's cool.
Yeah, you guys are probably more interesting than them, though.
Are we?
Wait,
Yes.
I don't understand the question.
But you know what I'm going to tell the story I'm going to tell this time? I'm going to tell the Hat and Cane story. Like, we haven't done it yet, but it's going to be a good story.
I think we should save it
We should
until
save it
because
until
I
we
feel
do
like
it.
something's gonna happen during it.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about plans for interesting things coming up.
The boat story we told on our wait.
I had another great idea. This is Dan and Zack idea. So you know how it rains and fills up those puddles? What if we just go like a slip and slide? We set up a slip and slide.
I like where this is going.
Dan, for our party, for our end of semester party, we should have a kiddie pool and a slip and slide.
Yeah, this is a good time to plan things.
Yes.
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 All right,
So, as you know, we throw parties at the end of semester, just out of the blue, randomly on the quad.
Wow.
We did that. It's actually pretty interesting.
I know, he Snapchatted
Yeah.
me from one of them.
Yeah. So the next one we're going to do, slip and slide and
slip
kiddie
and
pool.
slides. We need to buy a slip and slide now, though.
We also need to buy a hat and cane and a boat.
Well, a slip and slide is just like an expensive tarp, so just buy a long tarp. And then put some soapy water on it. You'll slip, you'll slide, you'll have a good time.
Just cover it in actual lube.
Yeah.
Fascinating. We're going to do soapy water. Soapy water's easier. Just dish detergent or whatever.
That's how it's done.
Burns the eyes.
Get it in your mouth, you die. Nah, we'll just use Tide Pods, Zach.
Oh my god.
You stole my turn.
Not dishwasher, like hand soap dish detergent. Like, the kind you... Have you ever washed dishes by hand, Dan?
Yeah,
Have you
that's
ever
how I prefer
washed
it.
anything, Danny? Yourself?
I mean, no, on a rare occurrence.
Alright.
Your mind?
Oof. One time, yes.
Hey.
That was a good meditation session.
That's right. So how much of this podcast is just silence?
Not a lot, actually.
No,
we tend to
no,
keep it pretty good, because,
Okay.
what we do is every single one of us tells a story about our lives.
Okay.
Like, an event that happened that we think is really interesting.
Something that usually happened in the last week that's ridiculous.
Last week. Okay.
Well, because we're constantly doing ridiculous things. We want to tell stories about our daily occurrences.
so-
I have a story set up.
Right.
Okay, I have a good one. I just thought of one.
Yeah, and then we have talking points afterwards that
Okay.
kind of keep us
Have
going.
we thought of the subject stories?
No, we always have the interesting story, then we have the subject story. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta have the interesting stories.
Oh yeah.
We usually have like a topic kind of each week sometimes.
Yeah.
So we have our regular stories and then those.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
So you know what? as the guest, you get to go first.
What?
Yeah.
I have to. Okay.
Actually,
wow.
if you're not prepared, maybe you should see how
Well,
it's done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good at telling stories, but I don't know if this is
Oh my gosh, so am I. You know who isn't good at telling stories?
who.
Dan.
Yeah, Danny's
Oh, I thought
quite.
you were gonna look over and like say me.
No,
Danny
you're great
tends
at
to
telling
go on
stories. I suck.
tangents.
No, Dan
Yeah.
doesn't say anything. Like, those stories will be like a minute, and then ours will be like 15 minutes.
I don't know, Dan. Like for me,
I condense mine to ridiculous degrees. The guy did the thing and the girl got stabbed, and you know that's just how it went.
yeah. The girl did get stabbed.
I'm pretty sure that's a real story I told once when I was describing a book I was reading.
All right, so
was
Does
great.
mine have to be about a specific thing, or can I just talk about something I did this week?
Something
you
interesting.
did this
as long
week, or
as,
something-
as long as it's interesting.
something you did this week, or something interesting about yourself.
All right. Well, I have something interesting that I did this week, and Danny heard this story on the ride here, but you guys have not. So, recently, I have been on a conquest to get into a relationship just because I felt lonely, and so, and I thought I could replace my self-loathing and loneliness with another person. Turns out that that's not the case, but we didn't know this at the time.
Oh,
So,
shit, you're
I was
telling this story.
I was going on a date with a girl named Beep. She probably
That's
she
a
doesn't
really cool name. I kind of like
yeah,
that.
it's a really interesting name.
I think it's very
I think
pretty.
it's Celtic. I think that's where it's from.
It's Celtic.
That's right.
It's Celtic.
It's a Celtic name.
It's a Celtic name.
Yeah.
It's Celtics. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They had a thing with just noises.
Celtics. I love that hockey team.
Gotta love them Celtics. I love it when they score the touchdown.
Just to clarify.
No,
okay,
honestly,
whatever.
though, Celtics fan, I come from Boston. They will murder you.
They will. Probably from most places, there will be some people that will.
It's supposed to be spelled with a K, by the way.
So carry on.
Okay, so
I'm a history
I use Tinder
My
because
heritage.
I'm alone, and
So you mean free hookers? That's what Tinder is.
let's calm down here. And so I match with a girl, very pretty, likes makeup, great. All right, whatever. Kind of. She sends me some memes, and I'm like, all right, awesome. We like memes. That's cool. And so I go out on a normal date with her. We go to lunch. Good. Second date, we go to dinner. We go get ice cream. Sweet. She's a nice girl. Kind of boring, but that's just because she's both of me and her are nervous on the date. So it's kind of hard to be super interesting on the first date because it's like you're kind of like, what's up with these people, right?
Trying to make sure they're not serial killers. you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. And so third date, we decide to go to the fair. Now the
Fairs are fun.
Florida State Fair is in Tampa right now. I live in Tampa most of the time.
Great. Now they know the state we're in.
We've never quoted that.
We live in
We'll bleep
Florida.
it out.
We're gonna bleep that out. We live in.
The Bleep State Fair is in right now, and so I went there with her. Yes, and so we go in and we're kind of walking around. We're just talking. We get crazy fair food, and I'm realizing, this is the third date, and she's still kind of boring. I realize, oh wait, no, she's not nervous. She's just a boring person. But no fault against her. There's nothing wrong with being a boring person. But I'm kind of like, all right, I guess this isn't good.
Isn't there an anime called How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend?
Yeah, great.
Helping you, dude.
I hate my life.
Or is it How to Raise a Boring Husband?
I already beat you there, buddy.
Oh, true.
Boring boyfriend.
And so I decide, you know what? Since I'm gonna have to basically finish this date anyway, I might as well have some fun with it. And so we decide to go on the Ferris wheel. And now I had thought that the Ferris wheel was going to be like a normal one in the movies and stuff, where it's two-person or whatever group you have to a thing. But they have those sort of pod-based ones where it can fit a maximum of like 6 people, and they're just having people go on. Like they don't have like, oh, what's your group? Okay, you get this one. They just fill them up. Next one. Meaning that I was put in the Ferris wheel with the girl I was on a date with, myself, someone who works there, an adult 27-year-old woman, and a child that was no older than 8 years old. Now, why, you ask, does the child not have her family with her? Well, the family didn't want to go on, but they wanted her to go on, so she went on alone. Good. This is already great.
This is already a great story.
I'm looking at my date like, what situation are we in right now? And because the two people that are, I guess the guy that works there and the 27-year-old girl, they're both about the same age. He looks about mid-30s, she's late 20s. They're just talking like they're friends. So I guess they're friends, and then I have a date, and then the girl, no one. She's just there alone. And
Okay.
so the two older people are talking to the girl. I guess they're trying to, make her feel more comfortable. But me, I'm not that nice of a person, and so I take the opportunity to mess with everybody. And so my idea was, okay, I'm trapped in this space with these people for at least 10 minutes. That means that I can do whatever I want to them. I decided I'm going to ask them the most personal questions I can think of. And they will have no other thing to do than answer it. And my date is a super shy, super reserved girl who does not want me saying these things. But so we're silent, and I'm looking at her like, this is crazy. And she's looking at me like, ha ha ha, what? And I look at her, and I'm like, I nod. She's like, what? And this is all with eyes. I haven't said a thing yet. And then I turn to everyone else in the thing, and I say, so what did you guys put on your W-2s last year? And both the two adults simultaneously say, nothing. We get paid under the table. And I was like, oh. And then I look at the girl, and I said, what about you? And she was like, what? And I said, never mind. And so we keep riding, and the older guy, has the balls to say, that was a pretty personal question. And I said, yeah, well, I feel like we're a family in here. So, we kind of got to know each other. And he said, all right, I guess he kind of had to agree with that. Because you can't be in a situation and hear someone say that to you and not go, I guess. And so we keep going, and now we've done one full revolution, and I go, all right, I got to hit him with something again. And I was like, okay, I know. And I go, is anyone here a child of divorce? And I raise my hand, and then a second passes, and then the guy raises his hand. And I go, really? He goes, yeah, my parents got divorced when I was 7. And I was like, yeah, me, I was 6. And we, kind of bonded over that almost. And I was like, all right. And then, so we go again, and finally, on our last ride, and also the woman has started ignoring me because she thinks that I'm messing with the kid. She's not a big fan of me, as it turns out. And so, welcome to the room.
Hi, Miles.
How you doing?
Sorry. Am I interrupting something?
No.
Yeah, no, depends.
Who knows? Is this really worth interrupting? Yes.
My camera is a mess.
It's alright.
Well, this is a mess.
We're a mess.
You don't
We
see the
believe
mess
in
in
you,
the camera.
Miles.
You're in camera, by the way. Say hello.
How's it going, guys?
What was the last thing? Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then so we finally do the final revolution. It's a 3 revolution sort of merry-go-round. No, it's not a merry-go-round. What is
Ferris
it called?
wheel.
Ferris wheel. And finally, we get to the peak of the final one, and I thought, all right, I know what I'm gonna ask. And so I just turned to everyone and I say, so what's your thoughts on Islam? And all of them just go, what? And my date kicks me. She goes, what are you asking that for? And I'm like, I just want to know what they think. It's a hot geopolitical climate. And basically, they didn't even answer. They stayed completely silent. They didn't say a thing. They were done with me. And so we get to the bottom, the door opens up, and they basically run out of there, trying to get away from me, including my date. And so now my date has basically left me, and I finally managed.
Check your phone.
Okay, I finally managed to convince my date that I was just messing with them, and she was like, "That wasn't very nice," and I said, "Well, it was pretty funny." And that was my fair date. I did a lot of similar things to that with messing with people, but that was the most funny one.
That's pretty hilarious. It's a good story.
I'm not gonna lie, that's out of us 3, that's probably one of the most interesting stories we've had so far.
Awesome.
That's because we've got to save the interesting stories we have and just build up on them. I think the boat story is pretty interesting.
That's on the Lost podcast episode, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a Lost episode.
Oh,
yeah, our
wow.
first episode was just audio. We didn't have the video. We thought the video was a good idea,
Mhm.
so we did the video, and we haven't posted the audio one yet.
Well, I'm sure your raving fans want you to release the lost episode.
All 6 subscribers, and I think half of them are us.
And one of them's me.
One of them's
so-
you.
Yeah. So.
Our first video has 18 views.
What?
Yeah.
Yes!
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Whew.
You should
That
get
was-
an
that was
Audible sponsorship.
No, that was a...
This podcast is brought to you by Loot Crate.
This podcast is brought to you by Coca-Cola, not because we were sponsored by them, but because we're their bitch.
I'm more of a Pepsi guy.
Get the fuck out.
Get out.
I'm sorry.
No, seriously, get out. No, I'm being 100%
drinks
serious.
piss.
You're out. You're out of the podcast.
I'm more of a Coke guy?
Alright, you're back.
Okay.
Alright, Dan, do you have it?
Hi.
Do you have an
It's empty? No. Alright, I think when we ever finish a can, we have to put it in the front here. So, like, if one day we just finish enough, it just covers the screen.
No.
It's such a great
I have
idea.
to work here.
It's such a great idea.
Hold on. Let me think here.
You know what that reminds me? Hey, what do you call a Ferris wheel rolling towards the sea?
A Ferris.
Wait, say
You know, when it
louder
comes
so-
right when it comes down to it, a Ferris wheel rolling towards the sea is really just a windmill of corpses.
Okay.
I mean,
It's Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Not wrong.
Yeah,
No.
you're not incorrect.
I'm not.
And that's the end of the sentence.
No.
Alright, so
It's-
Dan,
I had a story and I've lost track of it.
Tracking?
Hold my drink.
how about a please, huh? Please.
What?
Do you know how unprofessional it is to eat in the middle of a podcast?
I'm not gonna eat. I just wanted to state that I have a cookie and you don't.
Why did you rip off a piece then?
To prove
Well,
a fucking
I have
point.
donuts and you don't.
On
I'm gonna
you?
fucking drink
I have
that.
AIDS and you don't. Is that one not allowed to be said? We mentioned lube. So.
We didn't though. That was like in the beginning before we started.
No.
Wait, no, it was. No, that was mentioned.
Alright.
Danny, please tell the story.
Here's the thing. So recently I bought Googly Eyes.
Oh my god.
An
this is
assorted
great.
pack of Googly Eyes. Now, I'm still working on what I'm gonna do fully with them. But what I have planned so far is exceedingly stupid. I have so far temporarily attached a number of them to every button on one of my Xbox controllers and posted that to the DIY subreddit. It is still undergoing moderation. As far as I'm aware, it has not actually been put on the subreddit's page yet. However, I expect great reviews from it.
I wouldn't doubt that in with a single fiber of my being.
And the best part is as I was holding it, I could probably... I'll grab another Coke. I was like, I could probably play a couple of rounds of Battlefield like this. And I have two controllers, so I mean, I could just do it to one. The downside, though, is that putting a large googly eye on the Xbox home button is that when I put it into the charger station, it's going to press down on the button to turn the fucking controller on and turn on the Xbox.
Damn.
Danny, this is a Christian Minecraft server.
Oh, fuck. What am I going to do? Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Dan says some messed up things. You want to know how you ended the podcast last time?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, when you have the time, watch the last 10 minutes of our last podcast.
Well, I'm listening to both of them on my drive home because I'm driving all the way to Tampa tonight.
You're gonna
Bleep
at
that
the end of it, you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Make sure you do the editing and bleep out when we say places.
Do you need help with that?
Do you know?
I can do it.
I can do it.
I'll
I
see
am
what I can-
100%
If I
Literally
get,
everyone in this
if
room
I can do it, I'll do it. If I can't do it, I'll seek help.
Do you
Okay.
want to know how editing people do it? You clap, and then that spike in audio signifies a place that you have to look for.
But
But what are you using to edit it?
Bandicoot.
What?
Wait, what? What'd you
Sony
just say?
Vegas.
So
Dude, I got Sony Vegas 14 Pro off a Humble Bundle for $20.
What?
$20. You want to know what else it came with?
I'm calling the police.
Like 10 other programs.
Oh my god.
Like 10 other editing programs.
I
like
love
audio
Sony
editing.
Vegas.
I got Sony Vegas 14 Pro
I have
for
it
$20.
pirated.
It's a $400 software
Yeah, it is.
for $20.
That's amazing.
I know.
Is it still offered?
Maybe not.
I wish you had told me about that. I would have gotten that.
I
Humble
should've
Bundle.
voice crack thing.
Danny. Not on my Christmas.
Come on, you know it's not. That's a nice deal though.
No,
Like,
that's
holy-
exceptional.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about your googly eyes?
What about your Googly Eyes? Sorry.
Yo, googly
So
eyes.
I'm also thinking about putting googly eyes on the steering wheel of my car, and on
Wait.
and on some of the dials in my car.
Do you ever use those fog lights on top of your car?
Uh,
Get really big ones.
ooh.
Put them on the fog. Dan's car is a Nissan Xterra with fog lights on top of it. You should put googly eyes on those.
I mean, I can't really use the fog lights because like they blind other drivers, and I don't drive in fog that oftenly. So like,
Wait, thumbnail.
Oh god.
You're not shrugging enough.
all right.
He's still doing it.
I'm gonna stay in this position for the rest of the podcast. I'm not.
You tried.
But I considered oh fuck, what was that stupid thing I was gonna do to Mike's computer? Oh shit. Oh, I was at my roommate's Discord recently got a rule. What?
Do you know what I did to his Discord?
What'd you do, Zach?
I made a fake Discord account called Monica.exe,
Oh my god.
and I joined his Discord. And now I just mess with them. That was a good prank of mine early on.
But they just today they got the Rule 34 thing. So we have about
Yeah,
30
we'll go
minutes,
by
but that's enough time.
Going for enough.
But they finally got the Rule 34 bot working on their Discord. So what I was considering was changing Mike's background to Ugandan Knuckles having sex with a Tide Pod airplane.
You found an image of that?
No, I showed it to him.
No, the
You found an image of that?
Yes.
No, the Discord bot showed me that.
The Discord
No.
bot found an image of
Yeah,
that?
No, I showed it to you.
I don't remember that.
I showed it to you.
I don't remember.
He showed it.
Why
to
did you find it?
Because someone sent it to me.
Okay. How do these things happen?
The
Did
internet
God
works
intend this?
fast.
Was it? Wait, was it? I
Is
can't
this
remember-
part of God's plan?
I can't remember if it was an airplane or a furry.
It's an airplane.
Doesn't make it better.
It's an air.
Is it?
I'm a furry.
It's an airplane
No.
Tide Pod.
So there was that. I'm also considering putting googly eyes on my Xbox. So like, when the disc tray opens, it's like a mouth opening. It's going bleh, and then it
Oh, your
closes.
Xbox is on its side.
I know. What do you want from me, Zachary?
Perfection.
Fuck.
Not everyone's a
Dan!
What?
Language!
Also, I'm thinking about putting googly eyes on my shoes, but I don't know how long they'll last. Also, I was thinking about putting some on the staircase. You know, the rail in our stairwell that keeps breaking off. No? No one?
You posted that on Snapchat.
Yeah.
There's a stairwell, this rail in the stairwell up and down the dorm that just broke off.
Yeah, it keeps breaking. People keep breaking it.
It's like broken off the top, so it's just like on the ground.
Yeah, I just yell at people on Snapchat, like, stop breaking my boy! And I'm thinking about putting googly eyes on him and says, don't fuck with my boy, just in Sharpie on it.
I thought I was bad with cursing.
Yeah, Dan's terrible.
Oh, shit.
Dan!
But I have a question. Why don't you curse in this?
Because monetization.
Demonetization.
You think you have the audacity to think you're going to get any ad revenue off this?
What? Absolutely not. We're not gonna get any
Look,
revenue off any of this. The point is, I don't like cursing.
Oh, okay.
Zach's a good Christian mingle boy.
Well, then I completely understand that. But if you use the monetization argument,
No, absolutely not.
I mean, look.
Like, I think our second video has 2 views,
whoa.
and I think both of like that's us.
Oh,
I mean, like, there's a lot of podcast channels out there that get quite a lot.
generally they get money off
I'd
of
be happy if
sponsorships,
we got
though.
5. Like, if we had 5 like people watching that weren't us. Like, they posted comments. That'd be
People
nice.
we knew.
Or people we knew. That'd be nice.
I mean, just get an RSS feed and then you're good. You're bueno. Post it to all the iTunes and all that. I know techo stuff.
Techo.
Techie boy.
You know Techo, but not Lingo.
Do they still use
I'm an
RSS?
English major. Excuse you. I can say words real good.
real well.
Zach, did you have a story?
I have a couple stories. I gotta think.
Ryan
give me a
does have a
second.
story?
I have a story, but we must go in order.
Yeah. Think about telling the story of ColonelKrispy Kreme.
Okay.
Wait, no, didn't we say? Didn't you say you were gonna tell the IHOP story?
No, we told the IHOP story last time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the bonus story.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good bonus stories for fun.
So, this is the beginning of last semester. So we first all got here, and we all move in, and I just meet him. I didn't meet him yet. I just had met Dan. Dan's roommate Tex, who, God bless his soul.
We haven't talked about Tex yet.
Have we not talked about Tex?
No, we haven't.
We haven't. That'll be a fun story because we can talk about Frenchie too.
Oh, that's a whole episode on
That's
its
a whole
own.
episode on Frenchie and Tex. That we can talk about when Tex was crossfaded.
Oh, Christ.
Tex, great guy, didn't make the greatest decisions. Anyway, so my current roommate, he has this cardboard cutout of a fighter pilot. Not any fighter pilot specific, not like Maverick from Top Gun or Goose, like just a random fighter pilot in a flight suit. Random dude, right? So we gotta figure out a name for him. He brings him, he puts him in the dorm, and we just have him standing pretty much in the middle of our room for like a good couple weeks, trying to figure out what to do with him. Eventually, we put him on the dresser, like in the corner, so he's like watching everything. But one of the first things I did when I got to the school is I went to Krispy Kreme because I love Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, I really love Krispy Kreme donuts. It's kind of a problem. And they give you those hats. The Krispy Kreme hats. Yeah. So we got some of those, and I figured out that what we're gonna do with him is we're gonna put this Krispy Kreme hat on top of him and call him ColonelKrispy Kreme. And thus, he was named ColonelKrispy Kreme. But the story of ColonelKrispy Kreme does not end there. Because then we bought Nerf guns. Everything gets better with Nerf guns. And we started having basically Nerf ambush wars where we just run in people's rooms and just flatten them with Nerf guns, which is a really funny thing we did for a while until our RA kind of caught on and told us to stop. Which,
Then they started like going through people's rooms, confiscating guns.
Yep.
Nerf guns.
yeah, it was a big thing. But one of the things we did is we set him up in like the end of the middle of the hallway, and then we walked all the way down to the other end, and we had competitions to see who could shoot his hat off with the Nerf guns. And this is when you did Hacker Man.
Yes.
This was a great time. We had this huge hall party. We all just kind of got out randomly, and I brought out ColonelKrispy Kreme, and we brought out Nerf guns, and we had this huge hall party. We were shooting Nerf darts at each other from across the hall in our little suites, having a battle. And Dan walks out wearing the stupidest outfit I'd ever seen.
I had my light up 80s glasses and I had my glowing keyboard with
So
me.
he had a light up glasses, some weird hat, and a glowing keyboard, and he held the keyboard like this, and he was like, "I'm Hacker Man," and started prancing around. I don't think you were wearing pants either.
Yeah, I probably wasn't wearing pants. That's pictures on my Tinder profile. Also, I'm pretty sure I wore those glasses during one episode of the podcast.
You did. You wore it last episode. Yeah. So we're having this hilarious party, and we started having target practice with Steve, and that lasted for a good while. Our RA never found out about that one. That was a good time.
I'm still finding Nerf darts in the hallway. Like, I found one last week. And it's been like so long since I confiscated so many Nerf guns.
I still have all mine. I keep hidden. Because one day the battle will resume, and I will be ready!
Will you be ready?
Dude, I keep one of those Nerf, pocket strike things, strapped to my leg at all times. I'm 100% ready.
It's like when our school had Water Wars.
Yeah, that wasn't a very, very interesting, long story that I can go into detail with, but it was an interesting, funny thing that happened, and I thought it'd be cool to share it.
Ryan,
Because we used to have hallway parties.
Yes, Dan.
do you have a story?
I do have a story. I always have a story.
No, you don't.
Betrayed.
This is content.
We are Haha Boys.
It's a podcast. You can't be quiet for too long. It's like a radio show. What are you doing?
Okay.
God.
I think
God!
Podcast needs more visual jokes.
All right. No. Well.
Complete silence and just miming.
You can tell a story or not.
Yes.
I'll tell another story.
I'm gonna tell my story. Okay. Are you? Wait.
What?
Don't mind us for just being homosexuals.
Do it again. I dare you. Suck on his fingers.
Oh, I will.
I don't like that. You actually did it. What the heck?
See, he's also an embodiment of Dan in the fact that he will do. Don't say he won't, because he fucking will.
He freaking will?
You won't suck his nose.
Honey, if he's willing, I will.
I'm
He's willing.
sick. I'm sick. Don't do this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a guest. I shouldn't be this insane.
God, why would you even do that? Why do you even take those suggestions seriously?
That was
Because
so
whatever.
weird. What the
Can you
fuck?
tell your story and then get this off of this? This is a good episode 3.
So,
This is episode 3.
so
Dan gets his finger sucked on.
Alright, so my story, I actually hold a bit dear to my heart. Alright, this is.
But it's an interesting thing that you did that was interesting, like how he messed with a whole bunch of people on a Ferris wheel. What was your show?
He just
Googly
bought
Eyes.
Googly
He bought
Eyes.
Googly Eyes, and I had a hallway party where I shot Nerf darts at a cardboard cutout of a fighter pilot.
I guess.
Renamed ColonelKrispy
I guess this
Kreme.
counts as interesting. Like, to me, it's interesting, and it's something that's recent. Okay. Well, okay, so it's recent slash very, very old.
Okay.
Like, I'm talking over a decade old.
Well, then just start telling us.
Okay, so basically, I've gotten back into animating.
Are you talking about the stick animation?
Ah,
Yes.
pivot.
You told that story already.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
I don't think he did.
Because I specifically remember you telling the story of how you talked about the stick animator. I 100% remember
I
that.
didn't.
Well, whatever. Continue.
Because we talked about things that came back into our
I'll tell
lives.
something else.
And you talked about that story. I know for a fact you told that
Alright.
story.
I'll tell something else then.
It's still wet.
Oh my god.
So,
Doesn't make it any better.
I'm a very boring person. Anyways,
Don't do that.
It's reserved space.
Oh, this isn't really interesting, but it's all I got. All right, so basically, I was able to avoid a thought.
Ah, yes, I was about to say, if you can't think of it.
Okay, I get it.
You talked about that last episode.
I was
Yeah,
going to
when
say.
was our last episode? And whose fault was that?
You guys.
What?
I'm sorry, who was tired?
No, you.
You went to sleep early on Sunday.
No, you thought it was a great idea to go get food at 9 and we didn't get back till like 11:30.
Yeah, true.
He
Who
was
gets
still
tired at
fine. He was ready to
11:30?
go.
I have to get up at 5.
Okay.
What?
I said who gets tired at 11:30, and then you said I have to get up at 5, which okay.
I have to get up at 5 tonight also.
Okay.
Well, tomorrow, yeah.
Alright, so encountering. You know, think of this as like what to do when you encounter a thought 101 kind of story.
Be gone, thought.
Alright, so as we all know, there's a social platform that 95% of everyone on this planet uses called Snapchat. Okay? I know. You use it. I know you use it. You use it.
I don't use it.
He doesn't use it.
Oh, I thought you did.
He
No,
has
I
it.
actually don't. I only have it because of somebody made it for me on my phone.
Alright, so.
Like they took my phone and they downloaded it for me.
Good.
I don't use it.
Okay, so 3 out of 4 still. It's the majority. So basically, I got a random.
Full circle.
You got a random ad on Snapchat.
Yes, I got a random ad on Snapchat, and this wasn't under like when you first make your account and it's like, oh, you want to add your contacts? No, this was random person. All right, Dan knows about this person, and I've told the story to him many times. So, anyways,
I like this story.
basically, I accept the request. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Can I help you? And I don't get a response for quite a few days. And then I get a response. They're like, hey, all right, like, hello, and just I've never seen a bigger thought than this person before, and that's a claim.
What do you mean? They just said hey.
Went because
Oh, he's getting to it.
yeah, I'm getting into it. So basically, I guess I was able to get to know this person a bit, okay? And, became friends. They seemed very friendly, and I chatted with them on the daily. Alright? And then, I guess about a week ago, she said, oh, we're breaking up. I'm just like, oh, okay. And
I didn't know we were dating. When did this social construct of our relationship begin?
all I typed was ... Oh, okay. And that's the last message I sent to her for the next 3 days after that. And then she comes back to me saying, hey, can we get back together?
You missed out the part about how she wanted to move in with you.
Oh, yeah. So...
Wait, you heard this story?
Yeah, okay, so basically throughout the time I've been talking to her, she wanted to live with me because she thought her life was that horrible.
Is this person from Canada?
Is this
Yes.
a real person?
Oh
Yes.
wait, do I know this? Do I know this person? Has he told me the story of the person from
He's
Canada?
probably brought this up.
I've mentioned it probably.
She lives in Canada, a different country from us.
And
But I
And we-
thought like you guys know each other for like a couple years.
no.
No.
So basically, what she asked me was, hey, can you pick me up? And I asked, depends where you live. Canada! Canada. She's like, is that a problem?
Yes.
I'm just like, okay, you know what? Let me see how long it takes to drive to Canada without stopping. Good 4 days. 4 days. She's like, okay.
I have school. Oh my gosh.
But where, like, a whole
You
country?
wanna know what the funniest part is? It's probably a dude the entire time too.
No, this was an actual girl.
Well, it's
Well,
it's very hard to prove if you're an actual girl.
She's sent me photos of her.
Oh, Snapchat, yeah. But like,
Yeah, but that's not that hard to fake either.
did you
hundreds.
voice call?
I have hundreds of girls
Yes,
that I
we've
can.
had video call.
Okay.
Attaboy.
That's yep.
Okay.
That proves it.
Sounds
Okay.
like a real relationship. Are you two still
Then
dating?
that's even weirder that a human being
No,
exists
what?
like
Oh,
that.
that's a good question, Zach. Please, wait. What was your question?
Can we get back together? She asked if you could get back together.
Yeah. Guess what? I want you to guess her age.
27. No, 12.
Okay.
Please no.
14.
Oh no.
I have a story, but I'm not going to tell that one.
Don't tell that
Don't
story.
tell that
Uh-oh!
story.
I gotta go, everybody. And
So-
now here's the story of when I catfished someone. No,
No.
I'm not gonna-
Okay.
Not gonna tell that.
So basically, I'm just.
Juliana.
And so throughout
Stop.
that time, and when she said, "Hey, can we get back together?" I'm just like, oh, just select person, settings, block. Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
What a story.
So I guess that's how you can encounter and evade not evade, but
A
how-
14-year-old thought.
yes,
From
a thought.
Canada.
Just remember,
If
you can block people on the internet. Whoa! New technology? What? Cyberbullying? Gone? Terrible thoughts? Gone? What? Blocking people? What did this? Dan, we need to tell the world!
Zach, I'm sorry to tell you, they don't know.
I want to tell a different story now. I feel like my story was boring. We had a hallway party. We shot a.
I think it wasn't that bad.
it was interesting,
I have a better interesting story.
but
It's a better interesting story though. What is it?
We have
Wait, it's on the camera. What do you have?
we were gonna do it was our special topic of the week.
Oh yeah.
The interview.
But can I tell my story?
Yeah,
real
sure.
quick?
Go ahead.
How long is left?
Like 15 minutes. Who cares? So, this is high school. Junior year. I'm sitting in my room doing a mock ACT because, like, you know, the ACT is important. And I'm doing it's timed, right? And I get a call on my friend, and it's from my no, I get a text from my friend, and then I get a call from my friend. So me and my friends have this code where he would say code and then a number, and I basically told him that there's 2 levels of this code. Basically, code like a yellow level and a red level, like yellow alert and red alert. And whenever you use those codes, I drop whatever I'm doing and I come help you. And I told him, like, literally, if you use this code, I could be with my girlfriend in bed and I would come get you because that's the level of emergency it is, like, you know. And it was the lesser of the two, but he texts me code number and then calls me, and I'm just like, well, crap, it's an emergency. Like, he wouldn't text me a code unless it was like an emergency. It wasn't the high alert, so like I wasn't too worried. It was like the low alert. I should teach you that code because
Okay.
you're deserving of learning that code. Now he calls me, and the first thing he says is, Zach, I fucked up. Part of my language, and I'm just like, great. That's a great way to start a phone call. Zach, I done fucked up. I'm just like, outstanding. So I say, alright, dude, what happened? Tell me. And he says, so, you know how there's the abandoned hospital? Abandoned hospital in our town? Is it the abandoned state hospital? I'm just like, yeah, you know, the one where we all hang out and like do stupid stuff, and the one where movies have been filmed, and where we're going to film our movie, because we film movies there all the time, and some cool movies have been filmed there. Real interesting, right? Anyway, I say, yeah. It's like, I may or may not have crashed a $500 drone in the 3rd story window inside it. Just like, what? It's like, yeah. I'm just like, dude, 3rd story inside the abandoned hospital. The one that was abandoned because it had hephaestus, whatever it was. The one that we're not allowed to be there at this time of night. It was nighttime, by the way, like the sun was setting. A $500 drone. So it's, yeah. It's like, what? Why? And you call me. It's like, well, I thought, you know, you being you, and you can get people out of sticky situations. Right. Sorry. No. The first thing he said to me was, hey, Zach, you're good at getting people out of situations, right? And I'm just like, I was like, alright, so that's the first 2 things he said to me. Is like, Zach, I screwed up, and you're pretty good at getting people out of situations. And I'm just like, are you being chased by the cops? Do you need like a immediate evac? Lockpicks? Like thermite? What do you need me to bring? Like that's what's going through my head. So that's the situation. And he's like, you're pretty good at getting people out of situations, Zach. So can you help? And I was like, I'll be there in 15 minutes with a ladder. And I have this really, you know, 2-3-story ladder that I have in our garage. And I walk downstairs and I say, Mom, Dad, I'm going out. And they're like, what? At this time? I was like, yep. I'll see you in a bit. And I go into the garage, close the door, put the ladder in the van, and I drive. I don't even tell my parents what's going on. So I get there, and I park, and now he's on the other side of this hospital, and like I grab this ladder and I pull it out. And I begin walking down there. And this is where it gets even better. People walk their dogs around here. So I'm walking through this public area where people walk their dogs, carrying a ladder, dressed in a sweatshirt with my hood on because it's cold out, there's snow on the ground, looking as suspicious as I possibly could, walking, you know, through this abandoned hospital. I get stopped. What's going on? What are you doing here? Friend got a drone stuck in a tree. Needs my help. Okay, go on your way. So I meet them, and I say, what's going on? I have this ladder. What do you need me to do? And he points up and says, that window was open. We flew the drone in there, and it crashed it. So there's this awning to get up to the window, to get up to a window that's nearby, because it's a 3-story thing. You can't get up there. So we use the ladder to get up to this awning, which makes now this 3-story building a 2-story building, and use the ladder to get up to this 3rd story. And then I climb up the ladder. I get inside the hospital. The sun is setting. It's abandoned. It's an abandoned mental asylum, by the way. Let me make this a little bit clearer. To increase the creep factor.
I have a question.
Yes.
How abandoned are we talking here? Because if it's abandoned enough, I'm sure you could just break a window and no one would notice.
Well, yeah, but I don't want property damage. It's not. It's still like property of the state.
I know, but like, is it like abandoned enough to where no one checks on it, or do people check on it?
Let's see. Movies have been filmed there.
Okay.
On the premise and inside the buildings. There is security that walks around,
Okay.
and people walk their dogs daily there. Like,
All right.
It's kind of like a place like that. But like when it gets to this time of night, nobody's there, and nobody's allowed in. Like it literally says you are not allowed in. You're not allowed in. So I climb in. It's creepy. It's an abandoned hospital. Creepy. And I have to snake my way through the thing. My friend's blasting the motor so I can hear it. Grab this thing and climb out. And I successfully grab this thing and climb out and get out of there. So that is a story of how I semi-snuck and broke into a mental hospital. Because the window was closed, so I did have to break it to open it.
That's good.
I didn't break it, it was like I just...
I have something similar to that, but I think we have to ask questions now, so I won't tell
It
that
was
story.
an event, and it was one of the coolest things that I think that's ever happened.
Should we save interview questions for next
No,
episode?
we have time.
We have 10 minutes.
Who cares? You can suck it.
Well, look, just summarize your answers, and I'll summarize my questions. Like it's.
That's a paragraph.
No, I wrote my own like personal answers on these.
I don't have any questions.
All right, look.
Okay. Oh, I never did my sponsored segment. Oh well. I'll do it another
Do your
day.
sponsor segment now.
Alright. Well, I want you to know that I wrote a second sponsored segment.
You wrote a second one. Do
that
that for
you
the
know-
next episode.
Alright. Yeah, alright. So, this episode of Daily Life... Actually, do you want to do the sponsored segments?
Yes.
No, you have to do the sponsor
Read
segment.
the first paragraph.
Okay. By the way, I don't know about this.
Nope.
No,
Wow.
he
He
doesn't
has
know.
no idea. No, wait, hold up. It'd be funnier if he doesn't know about it either.
Oh, that's true. Alright.
But I already read it.
This episode of the Daily Life of College Boys is brought to you by Females LLC. Females LLC gave birth to us and kill us. For more information, purchase the almost $300,000 domain name females.com and redirect the domain to the Urban Dictionary definition of female or females. Thanks, females, for bringing us this far. And that's our sponsor segment.
I think you broke Ryan.
Loot Crate is a monthly daily loot crate with geeky, nerdy, comic booky stuff.
Coca-Cola,
Today-
it's a good drink.
Today's theme is
Look at his face.
something.
Look at his face.
Oh wow, that's the face of a nerd when he gets mad. I know
Careful,
that face
you
very
won't
well.
like that little freeze.
Pictures of it, you know, he's smiling.
Okay, can we hear some questions?
Do we have some questions?
Some quims?
Angry Ryan.
queries?
Happy Ryan. Angry Ryan.
Anyways. All right.
This is a good idea because now they can count the number of Coca-Cola's cans we've drank.
All right. So real quick, Dan.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to attend Embry-Riddle?
You mean the university that we're never to disclose? Well, you know, it was a place I wanted to fly and I wanted to be an engineer.
This is great. We're literally giving information about our school that we said we were never. We have revealed literally everything about our location.
All right,
Yeah.
just whatever.
This
the,
episode.
the one episode.
Just try to simplify
But I mean, like, you know, I couldn't decide if I wanted to be in Florida or not, and it ultimately came down to it was either this school or a school that I didn't really care about, and I went with this one.
Just to clarify, I mentioned the name of the podcast we did together, which tells the state we're in, the colleges I went to, a bunch of stuff about us.
You know
So-
what? They can honestly probably Google our names and find out.
Yeah,
Like, I
like
think if
honestly,
you Google my name, it gives you my old homework.
yeah. If you
Like, I'm
Google
just
my
one-
name, you get everything about me.
Zach, why did you choose Embry-Riddle?
Well, you know, so I Air Force ROTC, so I'm in Air Force ROTC. That's like my dream goal is to be in the Air Force as an officer. And I was originally shooting for the Air Force Academy, and I didn't get in. And there was two other colleges, this college or Worcester Polytech in Massachusetts, my home state. And Worcester Polytech was a college I wanted to go to forever. That was my dream college. That was the goal. That was where if you could go anywhere in Massachusetts, you went there. It's like comparable to MIT as far as level of schooling. And honestly, the biggest thing was the ROTC detachment here is the best in the nation. And then I hate the snow. No, I don't hate the snow. I hate the cold. The cold and 6 feet of snow. I'm tired of it. I want warm. It was 80 degrees today. I took a nap out in the quad. It was nice.
All right. So, what made you want to go into the career that you want to go into?
Aptitude tests, and also recommendations by professionals.
Okay.
That and also I really like the feeling of being in the air. Just the extra access of movement.
Zach?
I always like to look at things as, don't look at your future as what do you want to do. Look at it as who you want to be. Because if you can decide in your heart the kind of person you want to be, then what you do then comes from what you want to be. And it can be anything. So, you have a lot of options and you'll be happy with what you're doing.
So...
I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I realized, the kind of person I want to be is I want to be somebody, who's respected, who's looked up to. And I thought the two kinds of people that I look up to and respect the most in the world are officers of the United States military, in fact, even enlisted members of the United States military, and my pastor. So I thought, if that's who I respect most in the world,
The
who I look up
first
to,
military pastor in the world. He'll bring you to heaven by heaven or hell. Just a pastor with an M16.
it's called a chaplain.
Oh, true.
It's an actual job.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that. So that's how I decided. If I look up to them the most and I want to be somebody like that, why don't I just be that? So now I'm on the track to being an Air Force officer, and I'm taking classes online to get my pastor license.
Nice.
Well, ministry license and then pastor.
Dan, what's something on your bucket list?
Oof. Well, this is the ultimatum end to my bucket list, but it's the one that always comes first to my mind, and that's skateboarding on the side of an airplane.
All right.
Wow.
Midair?
You know what's up with
taking
things,
off.
dude.
Okay, good enough. Zach, what's something on your bucket list?
Okay. You're going to judge me really hard for this. But before I state it, ironically, and because I just want to see what it's all about. Not because I'm actually interested. Okay? Okay? I want to go to a maid cafe.
That's not
okay.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm not into like the reason why people go there, but like it's interesting because it exists. I want to see what it's all about.
All right.
It's on my bucket list.
All right.
Damn, I don't get asked
Dan,
these questions.
do you have a role model?
Feel
And if
sad.
so, who?
Yes. Okay. One of the first presidents of Russia. He was constantly intoxicated, and everyone loved him. And when they told him, America's nuking us, you need to press the button now, he went, no, they're not. Why would they do that? That's fucking ridiculous. I don't trust you guys. And he was right. It was a false call. The system accidentally went off, and they weren't being nuked. And he was like, no, I'm not causing nuclear war. So that's my role model.
So
A
you're
drunk-
totally drunk?
A
and
drunk,
loved?
yeah. Tell me that's not what you anticipate Dan's retired future as.
All right.
It's kind of what I
Yeah,
what I expect.
yeah.
I mean, we kind of already heard who your role models were.
Yeah, it's just those two kinds of people. But in reality,
Myself.
Dan, you know who I'm gonna say? Not
No,
you.
I don't.
All right.
Think about it.
Well, me?
No, think about who I am, and of all the people, who could be my true role model?
Jehovah.
Kirito.
Okay. All right.
No, bro.
Ah,
Fight for power.
fuck!
No, I'm kidding. It's
I
Isaac
did it
and Maria.
again.
It's Isaac and Maria from.
That's true. That's just us, though.
That's just us. There's just a lot of role models. Yeah, Air Force officer
Alright.
and a pastor. So
Dan, what's a habit of yours that would be hard to break? It doesn't have to be a good or
The
bad.
line game. I have to step left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Or it could be left foot, left foot, left foot. It always balances itself out, and no matter what's going on in my life, no matter how long it's been since I've stepped over a line or stepped over a specific section in the planet, I will fucking remember that I stepped over it with my left foot or my right foot.
Alright.
It's religious now. I can't stop.
A bad habit of mine?
Bad or good habit that would be hard for you to break. Alright.
Just give you guys a closer look.
For
This.
those listening, he's holding up a can of Coke.
Yeah, I am addicted to this stuff.
Alright,
This is my 4th can.
Dan.
Yeah.
What's one thing you'd change about yourself?
I'd like to have better study habits and not be an idiot. What?
Just, the first thing I thought of was like, what would any guy want to change about himself? And
Oh,
the first
Lord.
thing I thought of was the size of your dick. And I was like, what guy wouldn't answer yes to that? I mean, I don't have to worry about that. Instead, I actually have this problem where, like, I'll be walking down campus or something, and I just step on it, and it's like, you know...
What the fuck?
Like,
I
I
mean,
try to...
freak.
I try to, like, stick it in my sock, but that just doesn't always work. So, like, sometimes if I'm not wearing, like, high-top socks, it'll just pop out, and I just step on it. It's
I'm
terrible.
surprised they haven't called you out on it during inspections yet.
Dude, I literally think they just see it, and they're just too impressed to do anything about it.
You'd
Alright.
kill someone with
Alright,
that.
Zach. What's one thing you'd change about
What do you think
yourself?
happened to his ex-girlfriend?
Oh.
What was that?
What do you think happened to his ex-girlfriend?
Zach, what's one thing you'd change about yourself? Since we're running out of time almost.
What would I change about myself? Oh, there's a lot. I don't know. I can't. Like, you know, when you think that's a really personal question, because it's like, what are the faults that you see in yourself that you want to change?
Oh, it could be a good or a bad thing.
Here's my questions.
Dan, what should I change about myself?
Okay.
Gosh darn it, Dan.
Your eyesight.
My eyesight would be pretty good. I got glasses. And shit.
I was gonna say your hair, but you got a haircut just
Yeah,
now.
exactly. You know what,
What?
it is? My
I hate this
recklessness. I'm a little reckless
The
when it comes to
19
doing
rubles
things.
one.
I can see that.
And I'd like, if I could be more
I
cautious,
forgot I
and
wrote that.
not hurt myself as much.
Alright.
Like, I just cracked my head open because I was being
Ryan, how many more
reckless.
questions do you have?
One more.
Outstanding.
Okay. So, Dan, this is actually kind of a big question.
All right.
What are 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses you have?
Dang.
I'm addicted to porn.
Is that a strength or a weakness?
I'll let you decide on that one. No, that's probably a weakness.
You know, God can help with that.
Yeah, I know. I turned to God and it didn't help at all.
That's because you have to have a heart wanting to accept His
That's
help.
true. I don't want any help with it. It's great.
Dan, watch. That's your superpower.
Oh, my strength. I can counter with that is I have great stamina now. I'm sorry. I can't take anything seriously.
Anyways. So, another strength.
I don't know. I mean, I like
I
to
swear,
be
if you
there.
make like a Popeye arm joke because.
I eat spinach.
Well, you see,
I mean, I'm-
he's got one. Both of my arms get jacked because I need 2 hands.
I'm there emotionally for my friends. However, I bottle up all my emotions instead of dealing with them like a normal human being. I recently had an emotional breakdown of myself Thursday night, which continued into Saturday.
And you didn't tell me.
No, because I was an emotional wreck and also very sick. But I'd learned to deal with it somehow, probably by just bottling it up all again. And it'll probably break again at some
That's
point.
what guys do, and I felt that, you know, like you'll fill up a bucket and then kind of overflow once, and you just go, and then you're good.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, it's just like masturbating.
Alright, Dan, what's one more strength and one more weakness?
One more weakness? Oh. You know, it's weird because I have, like, I'm very concerned with the safety of other people, but I have absolutely I just don't care about my own safety.
I can see that.
Yeah. Like, when I have my friends in the car, like, I don't go insane, but when I'm in the car, I go completely insane.
Alright.
Danny, your driving isn't insane.
Alright, so.
Gas.
Running in the 90s.
Alright.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Copyright. Anyways.
You could copyright.
Yeah, we're gonna get
That's just not.
copyrighted.
That's not even how it works. Oh my lord.
Zack,
Hey, Disney tried to sue the Girl Scouts for them singing Happy Birthday.
That's good. That's healthy.
Alright,
So that entered the public domain.
Zach, what are your 3 strengths and weaknesses?
just do 3 strengths and then 3 weaknesses.
Mine were all coincide, so it's kind of whatever.
My dick touches the ground when I stand.
Whose doesn't?
Ha ha ha.
Wait, yours doesn't?
No, I have a small penis.
Weirdo. I had a girl who told me that.
No, an actual strength. Friendship, family's like everything to me. Like if you are lucky enough to become my friend, if you're lucky enough to become my friend, did I actually say that?
Yeah.
All right, no.
Yeet.
If you're
Baka.
if you're privileged enough to meet me,
If you're my friend, I will go to some pretty crazy ends for you. Like, and that I think that's loyalty. You know, I'm really loyal. I think that's a strength. My people skills, I'm really good at talking to people and just kind of especially strangers. So like in social environments, I'm really able to handle myself. And another strength. Dan, what was your strength other than your stamina?
I'm there emotionally for my friends.
Yes.
You're there spiritually for us.
you have a pretty strong jaw.
I do, don't I?
Yeah.
I bet you could probably like crack a gumball in half.
Alright, what's one week?
What was strength? What was fifth? Yeah, I guess strong spiritually too.
What's your flaws, Zachary?
I'm really lazy. I am incredibly lazy. And it's pretty bad. Like I'm so lazy sometimes I won't sit down because it takes too much effort to sit down. Instead I'll just stand.
That's another level of fucking lazy.
Yeah, I will go out of my way not to do work. I'll put in more effort to not do work than I wouldn't put effort to actually do the work.
Alright, what's
It's
the
a next level laziness.
second weakness?
I'm really not emotional.
Yeah.
I don't tend to show emotions very much, and unless you're somebody that I trust.
You show joy a lot.
Yeah, but joy's easy.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but
Joy.
Shut the fuck up.
Or do I show joy? And maybe I'm just actually faking it to seem normal.
That's some high school level bullshit. Right there.
No, I just don't tend to show emotions. It's kind of makes. I guess you just have to be the right person. Like if I trust you, or if like I care about you, then I'll probably be. But I'm not a very emotional guy.
Alright,
Very logical.
just real quickly, I'm going to answer the same questions. Alright, why did I attend this university?
You have to do it in one breath. Every question's answer in one breath.
Anyways. Okay, so I'm this university, local and either make or break.
I really want to
my-
go to university.
Stop.
I was going to never whatever university, but then I really want emotional.
Anyways,
I actually understood some of that.
so I did too. Anyways, why did I choose this university? I will hurt you and I will read. Anyways, A, it was local. B, it actually really will break or make my future, and I can really pave my path, quite literally. What occupation do I want to go into? Homeland Security, because that's very broad and I can choose what I want. What made me make that decision? My grandfather. Something on my bucket list? Graduate college.
he did it first.
Fucking bullshit.
Language is the greatest ever. I should ban both of you as admin.
Oh shit.
I used to run a Minecraft server.
Oh my god, you just reached next level of terrible.
Alright. Do I have a role model? And if so, who is it?
Him.
I'm being dead honest. My parents, because they've had to go through a lot of fucking bullshit to get me to where I am today.
This rule of no cursing seems very loosely
No,
enforced.
no, it is.
It's
the
usually
fact.
we're usually better.
Yeah.
Alright.
Also, the fact that we're mindful of it means we're not doing it every second because these guys would be swearing constantly. And now
Yeah,
we're just doing
exactly.
it
So,
less
what's
often.
a habit that would be hard for me to break? Literally procrastination. I'm getting better at it, but it's horrible
What's
for
a
me.
habit that's hard to break? Procrastination.
How at all is that funny?
Because procrastination is putting things off, and you're putting off trying to break a habit. Like procrastination.
I'm only laughing because Dan's laughing. Dan, whenever you laugh, it's the funniest dang thing.
All right. So what's one thing I would actually change about myself? Actually be smart, and I mean that.
Got him.
What's my strengths? I'm very strategic, on the spot, helpful, and I'm a good listener, in my opinion. I'm not sure if to you guys that's.
Apparently, people take advantage of my helpfulness.
They do. I can see that really easily.
I can see that
I'd
too.
take advantage of you.
My weaknesses, I procrastinate. My curiosity gets the better of me, and I'm not bright.
You know what?
I'm not bright.
Oh, I forgot one more weakness. One more weakness of mine is I put other people's happiness before my own. So I end up hurting myself. And
Alright.
to try to
So
make it
we
worse.
kind of.
That's gonna explode.
We are out of time. It's like we are 8 minutes over whatever we said we were.
Can I throw in a couple of random things?
Go ahead.
All right. Hold on, I need this. All right, Zach. Why rowing?
Why rowing? I've tried literally every sport in the book, you name it, and nothing really clicked with me. And as soon as I started rowing, I got on the boat and I got in the water. I just fell in love. It's very methodical, and it beats the heck out of you, and I loved it ever since.
I also had an attached part to that, like, why rowing? Why not basketball or baseball or other sports that start with B or doesn't start with
we
B,
don't have time
like
for that.
racquetball?
We don't have time for that.
Again, I've tried a lot. I've tried most of those. It's never really
all right,
clicked with me.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Is there any major? I wrote this really shittily. Is there any major thing you hope to accomplish in your life?
I'd be happy if I could accomplish one thing in my
You know-
life.
Got it.
You know what mine is?
Ah.
Own a coffee shop.
Can I say
yeah.
mine?
Yes.
I
please
want
do.
to. I want to possess a fake identity. I know where to get fake passports from. Fake IDs. I want to own a second identity.
Oh wait,
Thank you,
actually,
CJ.
okay. No, for a real answer though, for that question, would probably be
That one was.
actually have a good life after college. Like, be the first person to graduate college in my family.
I feel you.
All right. So. Go ahead.
This one is more for Ryan than it is Zach. If called to, would you serve your country?
Hell yeah.
No.
Would you?
No way. I would leave to Canada. I don't have any patriotism. I just believe that it's a world. I don't
I'm
really-
already doing it. They haven't even
I mean,
called on me. They didn't even have to.
Yeah, I would.
Zach,
I'm gonna
what's
go
your
kill
favorite
those
tea?
Iraqis.
It's an herbal blend. It's called Jasmine Dragon. I like an herbal jasmine tea. Sometimes jasmine and rose with honey.
All right.
Used to own a tea
I
company.
just thought it's
Ryan. Oh wait, I already asked that question. If you had to guess, how many hours have you skated?
How many hours of it in skating?
And then,
Like over 1,000 hours.
Ryan, like, how many
Thousands.
hours have you spent on TF2 without checking your Steam account?
Thousands.
7,125.
Probably that many hours skateboarding.
Okay, yeah.
Last time I checked, it was on like 7,120.
God, you're like me with Skyrim. It's terrifying, but
No.
also beautiful.
I'm like you with Dark Souls.
That is complete bullshit. You remember when I used to play nothing but Skyrim?
Yes, I remember that.
Anyway.
Those were the days.
So, any other questions?
Do you believe in anything you might consider heresy?
Define heresy for me.
Something that is against the law, or the law of God.
Wait, is that for both of us?
Yes.
Do I believe in something
Like,
that's-
do you agree with something that you would consider heresy?
Depends what it is.
That is not what the question is asking.
I'm sorry, but that's kind of a vague question.
It's a very I know. It's meant to leave for like interpretation. And I see Zach is pondering it.
I would have to say I agree. I would probably agree with it simply because I'm not a religious person. I'm not saying like I hate people that believe in God. I'm
Okay,
just not a,
CJ,
Oh, okay.
go.
This one's more against the actual law than the law of like the universe, but it's also somewhat against the law of like nature or whatever. is that I think that society should be structured so that crimes can reasonably still be committed. As in, I don't think that it should be impossible to commit a crime. I think that it should be possible to get away with a bank robbery. I think it should be possible to get away with murder. I think it should be hard, but I think it shouldn't be impossible. Because I think that there are places for every single action in the world. Probably there aren't very many places for them. I don't know if that was like a threat that you're going to punch me.
No,
but if
I'm
you
just
are,
stretching.
I believe you should be able to punch me. But
I am able to punch you.
I will.
That doesn't mean there's not repercussions for my actions.
No, of course, yeah, but I don't think that there should ever be a society where it's impossible to do something unethical. I think there is merit to unethical things, or else they wouldn't exist.
Yeah, because without unethical things, you wouldn't have ethical things.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
All right, so
We're wrapping it up. Don't worry.
We're ending.
We're
ending it right
wrapping
now.
it up. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, lit.
Very last question. It's a very stupid one. Just to close it all off. Would you eat a banana, peanut butter, and jelly if
I'm
the
done.
bread was lightly dead-ass toasted with Tabasco sauce for 19 rubles?
No.
That was the dumbest question
was-
ever said in the
That
world.
was just because of the nature of that question. I have to say no.
All right, Ryan.
No.
Thank you for watching the Daily Life of College Boys podcast. Podcast where we tell you interesting stories about our not so interesting lives as we are going to proceed to make our lives as interesting as possible. If you have any ideas to make our lives interesting, please leave them in the comment section below.
All right.
And if you want me to be on more podcasts, comment, but you're not going to because I'm boring.
All right. So like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye. You guys want to say bye?
I love you.
God, Dan.
Goodbye.